Hello, beautiful human. Thank you so much for clicking on our interview with G-Eazy. Before we get started, I gotta ask, please subscribe to our channel. Also, we have a podcast, link in the description below. And enjoy our conversation with G-Eazy. It is the Zach Sang Show.
What's up?
We got Heather.
Hi.
We got Dan.
Yep.
And we got G-Eazy.
All right. Young Gerald.
Young Gerald.
Gerald.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, that's what you're going by, right? And I think Gerald, right off the bat, that's two sides of you as an individual.
Right off the bat, yeah. And that's the album in a nutshell. Is Gerald versus G-Eazy.
Okay.
What are we getting right now? Who's here?
Oh, it's Gerald all day right now. The sun is still out.
Is there how do you know the switch, the change between G-Eazy and Gerald? How do you know?
When it gets dark out.
That's it?
Or maybe when I drink something.
There you go.
So
the special stuff that turns me from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde. Yeah.
The juice, the go-go juice?
Yeah, the juice.
When you're in the studio, who are you?
Really, honestly, man, I follow whatever vibe I'm in. When I go into the studio and what I, during the process of making this album was, I just had to trust wherever my head was, wherever my energy was, and just go in. And it wasn't until about halfway through making this album that we kind of realized that there was really these two sides, these two sounds, and we just thought might as well just fully pursue that.
What was the sound difference? What was the biggest difference between the two?
Ashley's calling me.
Oh, you gotta say hi.
Totally.
Hey, I'm on the radio right now. Okay, I'll call you right after I'm done.
Bye, Ashley.
I love you.
Aw,
That's beautiful.
that's cute.
You want that, right, in life?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what do you feel when you get those calls?
I miss her. Yeah, she had to fly out early this morning. It's crazy because we're both busy, and it's a blessing to be busy because you'd rather be busy than broke,
Right.
or busy than bored, or whatever. But it's definitely crazy to try to get schedules to sync up and stuff.
But worth it, right? Because
Absolutely.
when those moments that you're together,
Yeah.
they're valued even more.
Absolutely.
Well, and I know we're jumping around here a little bit. Beautiful in the Dam, by the way, everybody, is coming out on Friday. Or if you're watching it later, it's out now and you got to listen to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to listen to the entire album, but I have been able to see lyrics for select songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to... Charles Brown.
Yeah. I wanted to call it Charlie Brown, but there was a whole they were worried about the copyright, and I don't know, some weird thing.
Yeah, Charlie's he's a guy,
Yeah.
He's a thing.
Young Gerald, young Charlie Brown.
But in that song, you really dive into. Well, I get the confidence from you right off the bat, right? You're great, and you've seen what you're living right now for a very long time. You've envisioned this. Is that confidence a blessing or a curse?
Well, confidence is essential. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is believing in yourself. And, to take the risks we take, to reinvest everything over and over and over again, and to roll the dice again and again, and, to push for something that you want this bad. It takes confidence in that. So the confidence is crucial, but awareness is also very crucial. Just self-awareness and just staying humble and just, always knowing that, hey, there's always a bigger fish, period. Mm-hmm. And you always, have further you can go, so.
And you do say that in the song, right? There's always higher you can go.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned that legends have come up to you and said, you're the next one. Is there pressure with that?
Yeah, but you just, I think one thing at a time. I think you get overwhelmed when you zoom out and you look at how big the mountain is. You're well, I don't know how I'm gonna get way up there. I'm right here, and that'll stress you out because if you think about how far you have to go or what else is out there or whatever, it's but as long as you just one step at a time and just one day at a time, one song at a time, one album at a time, one tour at a time, all that's manageable.
When you walk into the studio, what are you armed with? Do you have lyrics ready to work into a song? Do you have a beat idea? Do you have a story you want to tell?
This is an open mind.
That's it.
Yeah, just the open mind. I go in there and just I don't know what happens up here. There's some subconscious thing where it just unlocks and I go into a trance, and I have to kind of warn some people if they're around. I need you to not like disrupt me or talk to me or bother me, or like I kind of just do my zombie walk and I pace around the room listening to the beat, whatever. So we'll pick a beat or whatever,
Got it.
you know, or we'll work on the music side first, and then for the lyrics, it just comes from somewhere, and I just start pacing and mumbling until I hear a song in my head.
Wow. And how much refining is there? Like, what is it a long process? I mean, how long? So for him and I, right?
Yeah.
Like, what came first? Was it that great hook, or was it your rap?
It was all at once. And, you know, the weird thing is, like, so I started as a producer.
Yeah.
Before I was even rapping. And so I hear, you know, songs like sonically and musically as well as lyrically. And I'm really big on, so 80% of the song will be done, you know, that night. I mean, the lyrics will be put down, the drums, the music, all that for all intents and purposes. And then I go back in after that, and that's the refining.
Got it.
That's the, like, I feel like it needs more guitar parts. It needs, like, you know, the drums could be beefed up and bigger and all this, and going back and fine-tuning every detail of the song in that sense.
Is that what
finish it?
Is that what makes your music so special? Because it is everything. It's not your I don't want to say like average, you know, hip hop record. There is so many layers to it. It's souped up, man. Like there's real instruments in there. You know, there are guitars. Like it's more than just on like your rhyme alone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I love music, and I really love movies, and I like songs to feel cinematic and, you know what I mean, big and epic and make you feel something. And it takes music and melody and chords, you know, to do that sometimes. So yeah.
We caught up with you like a few weeks ago at the AMAs, and you mentioned there's a Shakespeare influence behind the title, right?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Okay, what exactly? What's
so
that?
he's a famous writer in the 20s, wrote Gatsby, and if you've seen that, you know, the kind of like the time, you know, in which like what was going on then is like, you know, these crazy parties and everybody's drinking like out of control,
chandeliers
and it's this over the topness, like this like huge like, you know, living this wild and crazy life in the 20s. Now I'm in my 20s, and I feel like today's day and age kind of mirrors that a little bit, especially when you work in music.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the only profession where it's totally okay to like drink on the job.
Right.
I'm in the studio, you know what I mean? It's like you when I go on tour, it's like every night's a party because that's what these fans are coming for. You know what I'm saying? They're coming for this like fun night, you know what I mean? To party, to drink, to celebrate music and all this. And a lot of the album is kind of about that.
But with those highs come lows.
Super lows.
You don't get up without going down.
No. And so if G-Eazy's the wild and crazy party guy, Gerald is the guy stuck cleaning up his mess the next morning when he wakes up hungover.
But is
you know
Gerald...
what I mean? It's like, God damn it, this G-Eazy guy came back again and just messed everything up again. I had it all together yesterday.
Poor Gerald.
And as soon as he came into play, he just messed everything up for me.
Does Ashley have a hand in you getting into the literature and getting into like the movies a little bit?
Yeah, because she reads like crazy.
She's always feeding her mind.
The Beautiful and Damned when I read it.
Got it.
And we were just talking about it the whole time. And yeah, she reads like hella fast. It's like, she's like literally like I don't know, like
speed reader.
Yeah, it's insane.
But does that that creatively challenges you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it creatively inspires you. Yeah. And I feel like that's a rare, whether it be a friendship or another type of relationship or anything, that's a special thing to have.
No, totally. And here's the thing: we all interpret things differently. We all get different things out of whether it's a book, an album, or a movie. Yeah. We all experience them differently and see different things in them, and having somebody to talk to about it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And kind of just listen, when I go in and make an album, I don't know what I'm making yet. You know what I mean? Sometimes my friends help me understand what I'm making. You know, I'm so deeply invested and involved that I'm like seeing every little specific detail, but I can't always zoom out and see what the main subject is.
Totally get
without that help. Yeah.
At what point in this process did you realize what you had here? Like, at what point did you realize that this is two sides of me? This is, you know, because it is a story top to bottom.
Yeah. It was about halfway through.
Got it. So 10 songs in.
Well, no, I made 100.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Yeah. Hold on.
So it was probably 50 songs in.
And how long is the process to get to 100?
A year. The better part of a year. Yeah.
mean,
Wow.
20 songs is still a lot for one album.
It is.
Could you
And I
like
was
not narrow
worried.
it down, or
It was hard to narrow it down because, I mean, I think naturally you're attached to what you create
Yeah.
because it didn't exist yesterday and now it does. And, you know, we did that. And, I don't like everything. A lot of stuff I make I hate. But, like, God, that was a bad idea. But that doesn't need to come out. You know what I mean? It's like, but, you know, so slimming it down was hard. And then, yeah, I was trying to fight for 27.
Wow.
I made it while I was 27. I thought the whole concept of I don't know. And then they're like, yeah, nah. It's just,
But you're sitting on those.
Come on.
You're sitting on those records. One day they can see the light of day,
yeah.
and if not, they're time capsules in your life,
In my life that I can go back to and remember where we were. Yeah.
which is kind of cool. Like that's a cool thing. Some people have scrapbooks. You know, you have 100 songs sitting on a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
why was it important to make a song like Love Is Gone? Because it seems like you're touching on politics, but you're also questioning should you be doing it, right? Isn't that kind of what it's about?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I'm a rapper. I'm an artist. I'm an entertainer. I'm not like a politician. I'm not even inherently the most like politically aware like artist. You know what I mean? There's people out there that are like, you know, and I encourage everybody to be informed. I encourage everybody to like, I think this dialogue, this conversation is extremely crucial right now. I mean, like literally like the first line of the song, like the world is on fire. Like this is crazy what's going on right now.
Here,
it's like-
literally.
it's like I'm a human. I'm watching just like anybody else, and I feel. You know what I mean? And it's like, listen, it's if you feel like saying something, then say it. And that's where I was coming from. It was, you know, it was just something that I wanted to talk about on the album. I felt like I had to say.
Do you get a lot of negative feedback when you touch on stuff like that?
I did a YG has his FDT. Can I cuss on here? I forget. Yeah. Donald Trump. He had a song called Donald Trump, and he asked me to do a remix, and I was like, of course. And I sent it to him that night. I did it, and I ended up, we did a tour together, and we'd perform it every night. And I would watch these fans in the crowd like get mad and sometimes leave.
Really?
And that song would come on, and it was just like, I mean, I'll be completely bluntly honest. I didn't know people like. I mean, I get it because obviously the man was elected, but I just didn't see how many people like actually like. And that is so insane to me that like.
It's a scary reality.
It's a very scary reality, man. So I was just like, you know, I don't. If I lose fans because of this, if I frustrate you, then good. I didn't need you here anyway.
But it's also an eye opener to them. Right?
Yeah,
This is a trusted voice in their life saying, hey,
Yeah.
you know, what you believe, like there's things here, you know what I mean? Like this really isn't the right decision. It's not the right person to back for mostly moral reasons.
Yeah.
Outside of anything, you know, fiscal or whatever, it's morality.
Morality as a human being, the quality of a human being. It's like basic principles like morality and ethics and just like, you know, having a heart.
Yeah, right.
That's what it comes down to.
Like, yeah.
People have said that you make white people cool again. What do you think? What do you think of that? I mean, it was a manager, a respected person has said that, like somebody big.
I don't know. That's a really weird thing to say.
I feel like I've always been cool.
I can't speak on that. Yeah, that's bizarre.
It's a weird thing to say.
It is a weird thing to say, but like, how are you feeling now knowing you have like a year's worth of work is coming out in just a few hours? Like, how are you feeling?
Man, yeah, pretty crazy. I'm overwhelmed. Excited. I'm nervous as like hella nervous. My stomach is in knots because, you know, when you're an artist, like, you're vulnerable. You know, you're putting this out there. This is like more than just a day job.
Yeah, right.
This is your whole existence. And, you know, if people don't like it, you know what I mean? If they boo you off stage, if they write a bad review, that's not a bad day at the office. That's a whole existential crisis. That's like, God, am I even like good at this? Like, and you just, you know, so that like that in the back of your mind, just hoping people, you know, like it, like respond to it. You know, it's like that'll always be there anytime you put out something new, because until you know, you don't know. You don't know how they're gonna react. So,
do you want those reviews? Do you want to see them? Knock on wood, God forbid that they are negative.
I mean, I don't really read them like that. And if I do, I read them with a big grain of salt. Of like, you have to have thick skin for this. You can't let it like ruin your day, because what's the point? I mean, it's not, you know, I'm going to go back and rewrite the album and try to make them happy.
Yeah, right.
It's already out. What it is.
When was the last time you listened to the full album front to back? Are you still doing that? Or are you kind of just like, it's out there,
I mean, I hear it as I'm making it.
Yeah.
And as I'm fine tuning it. we did listening parties around the country and screened the film for fans in a few places, and that was like, you know, probably like last time I've like listened to it, you know, just because I was there. But once it's out of my hands. I don't.
Yep.
The film is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you, man.
And that's all you, right? Because you are very involved, obviously, from the studio, even down to the tour, which, by the way, you just announced. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, was that your idea for the film, documentary?
That was one of my best friends, Bobby Brutally, who he's a photographer, he's a director. He shot all my album covers.
Nice.
He's directed a lot of my videos. He's been involved in every project I've ever done. And like I was saying, how friends kind of help you understand what you're making sometimes because they can look at it from the outside looking in. I gave him a copy of the album when I was probably about 80-90% finished, and he listened to it and he was just like, look, bro, this feels like it's about self-destruction. This feels like G-Eazy versus Gerald and these two sides of you wrestling, and came with this idea for the short film, and I loved it. And the crazy thing is, at the time, I wasn't sure if the label was going to pay for it out of my budget, and I had to cover it up front. And that was a big risk to take because they were just like, look, like, I like this, it's cool, but I need music videos. I don't need an art film, like, you know. We need what we need in your contract, you know? And I was just like, but I believe in this. And they're like, okay, cool. Do you want to pay for it? You know?
And did you fund it?
Yeah. They ended up coming around, and then Apple got involved, and it's like, it all works out, you know what I'm saying? But it was a big dice roll. It was like, you know,
and from an industry,
people get it.
It's beautiful because it really, I mean, it tells a story, but also like that's the future of the industry, right? To accompany music with really beautifully aesthetic pieces, more than just your average music video.
Yeah. I just I think the rules are broken. You know what I mean? It's just like it's a wide open thing to create, and that's what's dope because I didn't, you know, like there's not like other 25-minute short films like that. That's not a common thing to go with this, but it made sense to me, so we did it. You know what I mean? And I hope that I hope that this like kind of helps capture the concept of the album.
Is the short film an original script, or does it follow the album?
No, it's an original script.
Okay.
Yeah, there's bits and pieces where I use songs from the album to kind of like tie together the story, but it's just an original script.
I just wanted to bring up Sober. It's a really great record. You and Charlie Puth.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sounds good. I mean, that's Gerald cleaning up after G-Eazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the reflective, introspective look at, damn, I did the same shit again. Why did I do that last night? You know what I mean? After I told myself I wouldn't. And that vicious cycle of human behavior, you know?
Totally get it. And now I'm picturing you in a studio pacing around, like getting flashbacks to all the messy nights that you had to like try to clean up.
Yeah.
Do you go to Charlie Puth with that finished? How does he become involved?
I met Charlie, we were on tour in Europe, and I was playing a show, and he was playing a show right next door the same night. Cool. So, yeah, we got to just vibe and kick it, and it's crazy. He hella impressed me that, you know, he knew about all this, like, obscure, like, deep cut, like, Bay Area, like, hyphy, all the stuff that I grew up on, which is very, like, local and regional and, like, cultural to where I'm from. You know, it's like, it's not common. You go outside of the Bay, and they know that stuff. You know, so for him, you know, to be this kid from the East Coast talking to me about Keek the Sneak, I was fully impressed.
He's a music freak.
He's a music freak, and he's like, you know, he's super bright, super talented, and just super down to earth, man. A good dude.
Speaking of Bay Area, that's where you started. You started rapping in high school.
Yeah.
The Bay Boys.
Yeah.
That was the group.
Yeah.
How old were you when you were in that? 17, 18? 14,
15,
young.
16, yeah.
And then 18, that's when it started to get a little bit more legitimate, right?
I don't know if I'd use the word legitimate. Still very, you know, DIY, very like trying, you know what I mean? Homemade, very like uploading to MySpace and hoping to, you know, get discovered or signed, and it not happening. Refreshing my page to check the plays, and it being like 86 plays, like tight. Sweet. There's so many fans. Whoa, I'm so popular. I totally feel confident. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the moment you realized that you did have a talent? Like you could produce, you could make music, you could spit rhymes?
I just have fun. Like, watching a song come together and come to life, and then watching people's reactions to it, you know what I mean, and seeing them live with it. And it wasn't about like, oh, I finally figured this out, as much as it was like, just that constant process of just being in love with it.
Was Me, Myself, and I, and now Him and I, were they planned to kind of be similar, or did it just happen?
It just happened, and it was kind of just like, I remember trying to figure what to call Him and I, because we didn't know what to call it, and a couple people in the room were like, no, we can't call it Him and I, because of Me, Myself, and I. And I was just like, well, why not? I don't know.
It's a continuation kind of in a way.
Yeah, kind of. If Me, Myself, and I was the solo dolo, I'm on my own, I'm all emo and alone. Him and I was like, yeah, I'm not emo anymore.
There you go.
I got somebody.
What is the worst part about being in a high-profile relationship?
I mean, probably the biggest thing is just we're both busy, so it's hard to find time. But the lack of privacy, maybe. I think we had it was actually like either the day we did the Him and I video or the day before or something like that. We were just like walking around New York, and it was like TMZ running through the street and it was just like, yo, like we're just people. We're just going for a walk, like. But that is what it is.
It's hard to like stay in reality in those moments.
Yeah.
How do you keep in reality? Like you said, I mean, like, dude, your life for the most part is like
I'm on Jupiter.
Freaking 1920s rich people.
I'm on Jupiter. Yeah. No, I mean, I think the reality is, the moments, the time with, your real friends. Like your circle, your family, I'm flying my little brother out. He gets in the night. I just told him, like, yo, just come kick it with me for these days. They're really hectic days, like releasing an album. Just come vibe.
Kind of makes you feel normal in a way.
Absolutely, and that's so crucial.
When you're dating somebody like Halsey, is it hard not to record a million songs together?
I mean, it'd be easy. Yeah, it would be super easy to do. But I think, I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
we'll see. I what I've been saying is like, I believe in collaboration when it's like the right song, the right time. It makes sense, not just to do it, just to do it. Like, if the biggest artist in the world was my best friend, I wouldn't ask them for a feature or something unless it was like the right time. Or the right record.
Because if it's wrong, it's
if it's wrong, it's just like
hard to come back.
It's kind of a reach. It's kind of like, why? Yeah.
Well, because it seems like you two, like, it seems like it'd be easy for you two to do a joint album, but that could also be like forced, and people are like, oh, of course they are. Like,
yeah, of course. Oh, this just seems like, yeah. But I don't know. But then again, I mean, if it does come together that easily and it just happens,
and the
music's
that real?
good and the story's that real, then why not? Yeah. But if it feels like, I don't know. We'll see.
What is it like, collaborating with other people like E40 or A$AP Rocky? Are you hearing their verses and like taking notes, or how are you processing, and what are you listening for?
I mean, those are two incredibly talented people, two people with unique voices and styles and perspectives. And, Rocky, I was just in the studio with him when
so you
we did
watched
it.
him?
And I mean, we were literally like, he started freestyling that hook, and we were bouncing ideas off each other. And it just happened on the spot like that. 40, I've been in the studio with him, and I've sent him records. We've done a bunch of songs now. But, people like that, they get it.
They do.
They get it. It's easy.
And Kehlani, I mean, from a producer angle, because you put your producer hat on, it's always on in these situations. But with Kehlani, it's different, right? You're looking for different things. You're listening for something different.
Kehlani is so incredible. So talented, such a beautiful spirit and such a beautiful energy. She just went in and killed it. And I think the special thing about her is like the emotion. It feels so heartfelt. When she sings, it's so pure, and that's literally her cutting herself open and giving it to a record.
Were those your lyrics that she embodied, or did she write that?
Nah, we just worked together.
Got it.
There are some other features that aren't as big of names. Like, how do you find those other people?
Zoe Nash.
Zoe, she lived down the street from me.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in the Bay Area or here?
Not here. I was working on a record, and it was a different song I was working on, and the producer was at my studio at my house, and his manager was with him, and we were taking a break from it, and he goes, yo, I want to play you this girl that I know, and he put on Zoe's music, and I was like blown away by the tone and texture of her voice, and I was like, who is this person? I have to meet her. He's like, yo, she lives just down the street. You could throw a rock at her house. And I'm like, yo, can she come over? And she came over, and just cut it right there on the spot, and that's history.
But that's how you know it was meant to happen that way.
Yeah.
It was that easy. It was that seamless.
Yeah. And that's how the best stuff happens, you know, when it's motivated by this makes sense, not motivated by I see the advantage to this or this is gonna get, and you know what I mean. And I don't care if an artist has 200 followers or 20 million. You know what I mean? If they've sold millions of records or if they have like 1,000 plays on SoundCloud, good music is good music.
And it's cool that you can kind of help them out and kind of help put them on.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It does. It changes their life.
Yeah.
How would you describe Crazy Love?
Crazy Love. Sacrifice, fast, rush, wild, you know what I mean? Like intense, passionate energy. You know, kind of like being able to block off the rest of the world, shut that off, and just like be present in that crazy love.
No matter if TMZ is following you or not.
Yeah. Just living in our own space.
Do you actually buy condoms from Costco?
I don't have a Costco card, no.
Yo, you should.
No.
We do. So.
Yeah, we share one here.
Are you like nervous or excited at all about releasing an album on the same day as Eminem?
Man, nervous and excited, yeah. For sure, nervous and excited. I mean, you know, there's nothing I can't say. It's like the utmost respect.
Mm-hmm.
Utmost respect. One of the greatest of all time to ever touch a microphone, period. One of the most successful artists of all time, commercially. One of the most influential artists of all time, culturally. Somebody who transcended everything and became one of the biggest in the world, and somebody I grew up on, period. So, you know, it's very intense and crazy to be releasing an album the same day, you know, and just to even be in that same breath. So it's dope.
That gave me chills, man. Dude, Beautiful and Damned. That is the album.
Yeah.
It's out on Friday, or it's out right now. You got to stream it. Really, do it. And I thank you so much for taking the time to
Thank you guys,
sit with us.
man. I appreciate it always.
I have a question. Did you get fresh ink? You got a new tattoo?
Yeah.
I saw it. It looks red. That's why I was like, oh, it's new. What is it?
This is the album, TB&D. It was a design. We're doing some merch.
Cool.
And then this is just something I've always wanted to get.
Is it Mom?
Yeah, it's just a classic mom and a heart.
That's beautiful. Cute.
Yeah.
Does your mom still live in the Bay Area?
She lives in New Orleans now.
Nice.
Yeah, my little brother's down there too.
Will she come out?
Yeah, I'll get her out here. I'm trying to get her out here for Christmas.
Is it hard? Is it hard to get her to come to beautiful sunny Los Angeles?
Yeah. No, I mean, she's sick. She doesn't like it. It's pretty exhausting for her to travel a lot. Otherwise, I'd want her out here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm trying to get her to sunny LA for Christmas. We'll see. Yeah.
Moms.
Either that or I'll go there.
That's it. Both is not bad as long as you're together.
Win-win. Yeah.
Hey.
Family's super essential.
Young Gerald.
Yeah.
G-Eazy. Thank you for doing this, my friend.
Much love.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere, so click them. Thanks for watching.